Hello, welcome to an interview with Neville Chase, his life with dyslexia, and reading the new series, Professor Lovecraft.
Hi, as introduced, my name's Neville Chase, and I'm dyslexic, and I don't say that as a way of sympathy, it's just a fact, and I've been dyslexic all my life. I'm pleased to say in schools these days children have picked up on, people understand dyslexia more, and they do realise that children have a problem. When I was a child growing up in the 60s, dyslexia wasn't really known about. If you couldn't read and write, you were just lazy, and you couldn't be bothered, and that wasn't true at all. I was very fortunate and lucky in the fact that my mother was a teacher, and she did pick up on it, and she sent me to public school, which helped me a lot. So my thing with dyslexia is the fact that even today, I'm 63, and even today, if you give me a novel, I can only read 4 pages. 4 pages is my maximum. I can carry on reading after 4 pages, but if you ask me, what have you just read, Neville? I have no idea. Absolutely none at all. So 4 pages is my maximum. So one of the things Oh yes, that's it. I was going to explain to you what, how you can understand if you can read, what it's like for me to be handed a thick novel and say, Neville, that's a brilliant book, read that. So the way I explain it is if you go to a restaurant, if someone says to you, Neville, you've got to go and eat this restaurant, I know you like eating out, go to this restaurant, food's fantastic, you're going to really enjoy it. And you go there under their recommendation, and you're faced with an 8-foot table that is absolutely laden with food, more food than you could probably eat in a month. And you're given the plate and you say, there, enjoy. And you look at all that food and quite honestly, I'd probably feel nauseous. Although I'd want to enjoy it, I'd probably think, oh my God, how am I going to eat all that? And I'm not going to eat all that. And I'll probably eat more than I really wanted to eat and go home feeling yuck and thinking, I'll not go back there again. And it's a bit like me being faced with a book. Whereas, if you go to a carvery again is laden with food. There's tons of food at a carvery, but you can take a little bit and you can go away, probably more than a little bit, go away, get yourself completely stuffed, enjoy it, and yes, you'd want to go back. You'd want to go back. That's the important thing. So why do I love Professor Lovecraft books? Okay, all the stories in them. Right, when I was a child, I hated reading books for obvious reasons. I did love to read comics. Comics not because it was full of pictures. The pictures for me were obviously a great help because they would actually help me understand what I was reading. The other part of that is on a comic, each thing has a little caption or just a speech bubble, and I could read a whole page. I could read a whole comic. A whole comic. For me, that was pretty amazing. So these books, okay, they're short stories. I mean, when I show you that, that's not exactly a thick book. The other part is that has 3 stories in it. It's not one story. There's 3 stories in that. And then each chapter in the book is only literally 3 or 4 pages long. So for me, that is amazing. I can read, as I said to you, 4 pages without a problem, and I can read a whole chapter. For someone who's dyslexic, reading a whole chapter in one go is pretty awesome. I can tell you that for nothing. But not only that, I love the way it's written. I mean, it's meant to be comedy sci-fi. It does make me laugh. I do find it amusing. But more importantly is the way the writer writes. He actually paints a picture for you. He doesn't just write a story. I mean, if you look on the Facebook page where this is coming from, you'll find a link that will take you to a YouTube presentation of the first chapter and one of the stories in this book being read. So that will give you an idea of it. But I mean, in that, if I remember rightly, there's a point where the 3 girls have to climb back into the university, and they go in via the window of the boys' toilets. Now, the writer could just say, the only way they could get back into the university was to climb through the window in the boys' toilets. Boom, done. No, he doesn't. He explains exactly how they have to get through that window, how one goes through first, how the two of them then help the next one through, etc., etc. The smell you're greeted with, and so much more. As I say, if you go and listen to that, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And that's one of the things I love about it, is the fact that he doesn't just say blah, blah, blah. He paints the whole scenario, the whole picture. You can picture it in your mind. And for me, that's fantastic. Because I'm not just reading something, I can totally visualise it, and I absolutely love it. I am not the writer, obviously, because I am the person who's made the official Facebook page for Professor Lovecraft, and also there's an Instagram for it as well, which is linked there. But I am good friends now with the author of this book, and he's given me permission to be the official page and to promote it for him, because I absolutely love it, and I think all dyslexic people would absolutely love it, and I think everyone who just reads would actually absolutely love it. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you any further. Get the book. You'll find on the page there's also a download available, so you can always download it. It's £4 and 3p. Grab it now, have a read, enjoy it. It's funny, it's meant to be funny, it's a sci-fi. Thank you for watching.